Let's talk about your content creation. I was telling you backstage that you are one of the most visible people online.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to keep your content valuable and not oversaturated?
Nothing until the conversation we had. Now you're giving me things I need to think about based on our conversation we had earlier backstage.
Right.
But until this point, I never looked at my content as a means to monetization or money. It's purely to wake up our people, purely to give them an alternative view. It's purely to let them know that they're not crazy when they see things that isn't making sense. So I never knew that I would be what I am on social media. I didn't even know what TikTok was. So people say, you need to get on TikTok because you all over it.
Right.
I didn't know. I don't have a YouTube page, right? So I didn't know social media would respond to me the way that it has, especially given my views, which many people would consider to be radical or controversial. So that was purely an act of God that I've been able to have that type of presence online, standing for what I stand for. I never expected that in my wildest dreams.
And you know what I find interesting? You came from a crop or a batch of conscious community where it was very strong. I said Umar is probably one of the only ones that's been able to transcend that run. A lot of those guys kind of have faded away. You still see the Candace Owens. You still see you. And I believe that's about where it stops at.
Yeah.
What do you contribute that to?
I think a lot of it has to do with my expertise as a school psychologist. It's kind of hard to separate my impact from my profession. Because if I was not a school psychologist, if I couldn't help parents help their children, if I couldn't evaluate, if I couldn't diagnose, if I couldn't teach them about the medications, if I couldn't help them with the IEPs, if I couldn't review the psychological evaluations, would I be as relevant? I don't know. Some people would say yes. Some people would say no. It's no way to know because I've never not been the school psychologist, you see. And so it's hard to separate the two. Although I think presently, though, I definitely think Dr. Umar the Pan-African is a much more popular person than Dr. Umar the psychologist. But I think Dr. Umar the psychologist is more valuable in that parents clearly see in me someone who can help them.
And you know what I think it is, and this is old-fashioned for anybody in content creating, it's like literally add value, whatever you're doing. And so I think what you really have in the background in understanding the medicines and understanding psychology, I think that value did set you apart because a lot of people was just talking.
Yes.
When you get in the meat and potatoes, you get in the meat and potatoes and you really understood. I remember you used to walk around with the big DSM-5 book. And so these kind of things, I think, made you kind of reign supreme in regards to those guys that laid there. It seemed like the talking just subsided.
Yes.
Just kind of went away.
Yes.
The documentary era was a boom for y'all. You still get paid for any of those things?
Nah, I've never produced my own documentary. And the ones that I was in, I never really made anything off of those.
That's what I was talking to you back, utilizing your own packaging for you, because your brand is so big. Like everyone knows you're one of the most popular black people in the world, but it's the packaging. That's why people can come and package you and sell it.
Yeah.
Right? People can come and say, yo, I'm going to get Dr. Umar on my DVD and I'm going to go get a bag.
Yeah.
But Dr. Umar should be able to put that DVD together with that voice.
And to your point, I definitely think I've lost out financially by being so giving. But at the same time, I would not do anything different because I don't think we get that school built if people didn't know my heart was real. I don't think I would be as popular as I am globally if people didn't know my heart was real. So I don't regret any of it. Even now, people say, hey, you got to redirect your content on YouTube. You got about 5 different pages misrepresenting themselves as you, making money off of you. And we will get to that. But at the same time, that's how people came to know who I was, by people posting the content. So
you got to lose a little bit to get a little.
You got to lose, yes.
Just like Dion.
Yes. That ain't got nothing to do.
Let me do what he be doing.
Cut it out.
No, but I don't know. It just wrapped back around to that. But seriously, you have to lose a little bit to get a little.
Watch the full video on It's Up There Podcast YouTube and exclusives on Patreon. Get there now.